Hi, this is Funny Minds, and I'm your host, Lynn B. And my co-host just stepped away for a minute, but today we have on Thomas Patrice. And Thomas, welcome. He's an actor, he's a writer, he's a comedian, and he comes from Montreal. So, which is very interesting. This is my co-host,
Hey, Thomas.
How you
Eddie.
doing?
How are you? Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so
Good.
much.
Good to see you.
So,
Oh, this is
tell us
fun for
about
me.
tell us about Thomas. I mean, you do acting. I mean, give us, well, no, let's go into the comedy first. Like, what got you into comedy?
Oh gosh. Okay. The truth. Everybody thinks it's this comical genius and writing all this stuff. The truth is, I had two older brothers and two older sisters who used to whoop my butt. So the way to get away from them when they caught me was to say, "Hey man, before you beat me, let me tell you a joke." And they'd be like, "I don't want to hear no joke. No, let me tell you a joke." And as soon as they go, "Okay," relax their grip, I was gone. Then after that, I realized I had to start making up some good jokes to get away.
That's a unique start to comedy.
Yeah, really.
But it worked.
Yeah, that's right.
But,
It worked.
you know what? Honestly, I grew up in a West Indian family. My mother was from Antigua. My father's from St. Lucia. God rest their souls. Hi, mom and dad. Anyways,
Aw.
oh no. They honestly, my father was 5'7", but don't get this man upset because he would stutter when he
Okay.
would get upset.
Tornado.
And a lot of that made my comedy because I'd make fun of him. I would do things on purpose to get him upset, and he'd be like, "Stop! I tell you, my mother would chime in, "Pat, don't get upset with the boy. He's trying to make you laugh." So, anyways, that's what really got my comedy started. And from there, just mucking around with my brothers and sisters, good friends like Derwin Jordan, Barry Carter, Anthony Kavanaugh, and just telling stories. And that's how I really got started in comedy.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. And it's amazing the amount of comedians that obviously we've all watched throughout the years, and all the new comedians coming out, and how much comedians draw their material on their family. Wives, moms, and dads.
Oh,
and
God, yeah.
It's honestly, it's some of the best material because it's so true. And it's so honest.
So true.
And that's what makes it so funny, because a lot of people can relate to a lot of things that you're saying, and maybe they've had the same experiences, and it was hysterical too. So just like,
I mean, I could do 30 minutes on my mom's purple hair. Easy. 30 minutes.
Okay. See, you're brave, because if I even said anything about my mom's, she's gonna haunt me from the grave now. If I said anything about my mom's ways, one time my mother was talking to a friend about, when I go to the hairdresser, I like to get my hair done up like, like maybe Tommy Terrell, maybe I like to get I'm like, Mom, isn't that a wig? I have never seen my mother. She gave me the look like Michael Corleone gave Fredo. And for 5
You're
seconds,
not kissing any rings tonight, buddy.
Oh my gosh. And trust me, when she caught me that night, there was no joke I could have told. None.
Oh, my God.
You know what?
The laser death stare.
No, I tell all my friends and everything, we go to a comedy show, I'm sitting up front because I want that comedian to pick up me, because I'm just going to go back and forth with that guy. I'm just going to have them, or girl, it doesn't matter, the most fun that I could possibly have. I'm paying to go see a comedian. I want him to be comedic with me too. So, and the apple, the apple didn't fall very far from the tree. Let me tell you.
Where are you located?
So, I'll be looking for these two faces all my shows. There she goes. Yeah. Yes, you. Sit in the back.
Where are you based at?
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I love telling stories about my wife. My wife is Sicilian, straight from Sicily.
That's a lot of material right there.
You're lucky you don't find a horse's head in your bed. Okay.
Let me tell you something. Okay. My sister-in-law will deny this till the day she dies. This is how my sister-in-law told me it was okay to marry her little sister. She said, "Can I talk to you for a second? Maybe you want a beer or something. Come get a beer in the fridge." And she pinched my arm and led me into her kitchen. She pushed my head in the fridge and she looks at me. She goes, Let me tell you something, Tommy, all right? Thomas, Tommy, whatever you are. I don't care who you are, Jamaican, whatever. Hey, you do not get my sister pregnant and run off. You know this, all right? Because we know people who do construction, and I got good cement. Eh? With a beard.
I'll make you a
Yeah,
parachute.
yes. Well, all I'm gonna say is, Vita, I love you. I swear to God, I'll never do anything to hurt your sister. I promise. I promise.
Anything you say.
I'm telling you.
Well,
No,
you get
my
a visit from Moose and Rocco. You know what's going on.
oh, let me tell you. Let me tell you. We cannot go by a farm without a horse saying, "I don't want to be in his bed. His head staying on his body." No, keep driving. Keep driving. My best impression. My best impression of De Niro as a horse. Eh? Eh?
Yeah.
You think his head's gonna be? Nah. Eh? No, no, brother, no.
So have you picked up a lot of Italian? Does he speak Italian?
Oh my gosh. Well, here goes. Tutte avanti quando io 5 anni a Montreal, no a Toronto. Io parlo buono in italiano. Ma quando io io parlo francese, inglese, italiano, perché io penso tutti parli. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll just translate for you. Quand je suis
Okay.
à Montréal, no, I grew up speaking
All I got
Italian.
was Italiano.
I grew up speaking Italian because my dad was a merchant marine, and all the guys that he brought, that didn't come out right. All the people that came home with him were either Sicilian or they were Calabrian, and we lived in an Italian neighborhood when I was like 5 years old. So I thought everybody spoke Italian,
Okay.
right? So the funny twist is when I met my mother-in-law, one day she was going on about something. I was picking it up and I was giggling, and she looks at me, she goes, "Hey, Tom, you understand Italian?" I said, "No, ma. You know, parlare italiano cosa bene, ma vai parlare," which basically translates, "No, ma, I don't understand what you're saying. Keep talking."
That's great.
So wait, so your parents are from the
Getting a call
Philippines, right?
What's that?
You said your
Philippines.
parents are from the Philippines?
No. Both my parents are from the West Indies.
West Indies.
Oh, West Indies. So,
Sorry. Nowadays they
so
call it
where are there Italian neighborhoods in the West Indies?
No, but the funny thing is, when my dad was, and he passed on, when he was alive, like I said, he was a merchant marine. So
Right.
all the guys he worked with, like they were all coming directly from Sicily. Because what they would do is,
Oh, okay.
Canada.
Okay.
They would do their little trip, and they would pick up borders in each like country they went to. So
Okay.
my dad eventually got in so good with these guys that in Montreal, true story, in Montreal, the family that rented my mother and father their first flat were Sicilians, the Espositos. And I got to thank you guys for that. Some of the best food, some of the best times. And my dad just started picking up the language. And there you have it. I mean,
Yeah.
my dad was
Oh,
from Sicily, so
wow. Okay.
just an
So
amazing
what
thing.
brought you to Montreal?
Well, I was originally born in Montreal, and I live in Toronto. I should have clarified. I apologize. But what brought my dad to Montreal was the job. He worked with a company called the Ungava Transport, and they were a
Okay.
large fishing and a shipping conglomerate. And basically, they worked with merchant marines. So they hired him on in St. Lucia, and over the years, he transferred to the Montreal office. He got married, had a wife, my mom, and there you have it. Then comes Thomas Patrice.
Okay. Okay.
You know, I've been up. I've traveled up to Montreal, and it is a very, very diverse city. Very diverse. A lot of Italians, a lot of European influence, French. The girl I was dating at the time was Scandinavian. There was a lot of Scandinavians up there. I mean, it was a very diverse place. And obviously, it's the home of the Montreal Comedy Festival.
Oh, let me tell you.
Performed there?
I have been knocking on their door for a while now, but no, I haven't had a chance. I've had many a friend who has performed there. Anthony Kavanaugh, Russell Peters. There are a lot of other guys that have been writing for their festival. I've got another friend who's going up there. She's already done that. Her name is, she goes with comedy name Al Val. There are a lot of funny guys in Montreal, a lot of funny people in Montreal. The thing in Montreal is this: we're a little microcosm of Europe, and that translates. but we are the microcosm that speak French like that. You know, we all sound like Georges St. Pierre when we speak the French with an English accent. You know, but anyways, so the thing is, Montreal is it's a microcosm of a lot of little nationalities, right?
Yeah.
There's a large Haitian community there. There's a
Mhm.
large Indian community there, a large Chinese community. Still tons of Scandinavians.
Mhm.
Yeah, and growing up in Montreal gave me sort of a feel for the rest of the world, you could say,
Yeah.
because when you
Okay.
come out of Montreal, it's like coming out of New York. Okay, um, there's so much, like I said, diversity there that
Yeah.
when you hit the
Right.
rest of Canada or the rest of the world, you're like, oh, I know that. Oh, I know that. Oh, I know that. So it was great growing up in Montreal.
So do you do tours? Like do you tour, go on the road, do different comedy acts on the road with other comedians? You just do yourself or, you know?
For a while, I was with some other comedians, but yeah, now I just do myself. A lot of the times, it's either in Buffalo or Philadelphia, or I'll go to. I'm trying to get down to Boston now. I'm trying to get back to Winnipeg, that sort of thing. And
Okay.
it's just basically across Canada, but it's fun. Being on the road is fun. A lot of people like to give you these sob stories, but I always have the most magnificent times. I'm not going to say anything about getting locked in a bathroom in somebody's hotel room and then forgetting me there for an hour. I'm not going into that because we're not allowed to talk about that. But anyways, yeah, it's been great.
Oh, okay. And so now you do acting and writing too. So, and
Yes,
you've been on different TV shows in Canada or
yes.
okay.
Gosh, this was I haven't done any acting in the sense of being on TV shows in a bit, but I remember being on. Oh gosh, I did the I did the movie. Oh, see, this is what happens when you get into your 50s. You'll forget things quite easily.
Yeah,
I'm
the
telling you.
synapses don't connect
Oh,
sometimes.
I'm there with you. I go in the other room.
synapses. I'm sorry. What was that?
I said I go in the other room and I have to remember why I went in the other room.
Oh,
I'm with you on that.
okay. Do you understand how hard it is? You understand how hard it is when I look at my kids going, yeah, you're the oldest one now. What's your yeah, named you after
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You look like your mom, you look okay, yeah. Yeah, I know you're mine. I know you're mine. You're dark like me. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. That's I'm sorry. Really crazy joke. Two of my kids came out really light, and one came out like dark like me. But the funny thing is, the two kids that came out really light, they are just gangster all the way. And the one that came out looking like me is his name is Alessandro, and he talks more like this: "Mom, pasta, please." Now, sorry, I did a movie a while back. I'll get back into it. I did a movie a while back called Narc. I got to work with Aureliana, God rest his soul. And I've done a couple of other things. Oh gosh, worked on a movie called Sisters. Worked on Jackknife in Montreal. Worked on in Toronto. Oh my gosh, Relic Hunter. So every time I got to get on set, this is the best. I love having the name. My name is Thomas Hamilton Patrice. So I'd have somebody coming up going, Thomas Hamilton Patrice, looking for a Scandinavian guy. Then I go, here. They're like, okay,
Really?
sit down, bro. Sit down. Sit down. Or like in Montreal, when they hear my name, in Montreal. Thomas Patrice, présent. And then it was whispered to somebody going, you named Thomas Patrice? Which one you first name? Patrice or Thomas? I don't understand. Oh, Thomas. Okay, whatever. Tyrone, Thomas, Tony,
Oh,
Thomas.
jeez.
Oh, c'est bon, come with us. So no, I've had my father was also a joker. That's why he named me Thomas Hamilton Patrice. Yes. Yes.
So he was really the original comedian. Is that what you're telling?
My dad could make a room light up. My dad, okay, picture the Frank Sinatra era, but picture a light skinned black man with a drink in his hand with a little St. Lucian accent. And then it tells you, yeah, yeah, you know the joke. And all his friends would crack up and laugh at it. I'd try to get on it. Hey, Dad, we laughing at? He do this. This is an adult joke. You don't want to. Go play with toys. Anyways, but yeah, my dad was the original Joker. He always had a way of making me feel better when I was sad. He always had a way of making everybody feel good about any situation. My dad, we once got a flat tire on the highway. My dad was outside singing a song while he's changing a tire to make the three of us not be scared in the back. And here's my mom. She's standing there watching, going, change it faster, Pat. There's traffic. Pat, change it faster. And my dad would look at her and go, you the mechanic, you make the car, and you sit in the car. And he would always be making jokes at every turn. And yeah, he was, gosh, an amazing man.
Well, that's great. Yeah, that is great.
So how does the wife, how does she like you being on the road? Is she
Oh.
kind of like, don't let the door hit you in the butt, or does she at least play the role that she's gonna be just brokenhearted until you get back?
Let me tell you something about my wife, Jacqueline. They call her me. Let me tell you something about the boss of all the bosses. Capo de tutti capi. My wife looks at me one day. She goes, I know you're doing all these shows, but I want you to understand something. Here's where the Sicilian comes in. When you see Sicilian doing this, right? They're not trying to make you feel good. They're letting you know. I'm gonna You're gonna do it too. You're gonna like it. You're gonna say you don't like it, but deep inside, you're gonna change your mind. Because if you don't, your sister got good cement. All right, remember that. No, my wife looks at me. She goes, "I know you're doing all these shows. You're getting paid, right?" And I looked at her and said,
Getting paid.
"Yeah, I'm getting paid." She goes, "Mama like money." And at first I thought she was joking. I'm like, that's so cute. You're doing the Godfather thing. She goes, who's joking? Okay. So I guess my percentage goes down and yours goes up. And she goes, you get a percentage of what? I said, okay. Guess you're getting paid. All right.
You know what you should do is when you get paid, you just roll it up and you put the rubber band around it and hand it to her.
Bro, you're trying to get me in trouble? Bro,
wait, when you got married, didn't you hear the sentence that says, what's mine is mine and what's yours is mine? You didn't hear that?
No, she said it very, very lovingly. She said, Tommy, I love you. But don't you ever for a minute think that I will not break your leg if you don't give me. I'm joking. She didn't say that. She said it more lovingly than that. She said, you know, honey, we have, and she got this from another comedian. She goes, we have our money and I have my money, which is our money.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the way. Hey, that's a woman's way. What can I tell you?
Dare you steal my life?
Oh my gosh.
So the writing, is that for the comedy, or are you writing a book, or
I'm in the middle of writing. I'm working on a graphic novel with gotta give it out to him, Jay Bird Digital Arts, and another artist named Fred. And what we're doing is, well, I'm writing like a script to it, and they're going to be doing the backdrop, the drawings and everything, the art, and we're going to be putting it out soon. Can't give you any more than that, but so I am working on a graphic novel. Mm-hmm. I'm writing about 2 scripts. I'm working on one that's a period piece from the 1930s, and I'm working on another one that is set in modern times, sort of like the sequel to that period piece. But what I'm doing is I've written out the script. What I'll do is I'll write out a script, and then if I see anything that I can expand on or work on that can be like a sequel, I do that. For most of my writing comedy, honestly, it's literally like today, I'm going to take the little things that work today, I'm going to write them into like a little script and just keep working on them. Or I literally sometimes just get on stage, I have no idea what I'm going to do, and I talk to the audience, or I tell them about my family and that sort of thing. And what hits, I keep. What needs to be worked on, work on. And that has gotten me literally up to like 6 hours of comedy. Just writing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
What's that?
Most don't realize how we talk about comedy time. Like we were talking to a comedian earlier, starting off at like an open mic doing 5 minutes, and what people don't realize, when you're starting off, that 5 minutes is like 5 hours.
Exactly.
But as you grow and you hone your craft and you start to feel more comfortable, and you start hitting that 30-minute mark, and then you start hitting an hour mark, and then you have that comfortability, and then you could play around and get up there and start spitballing and see what works, what doesn't work, and what direction you want to go in. But you have a comfortability
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because to me, comedy doesn't have a color. Okay.
Mhm.
Comedy is relating
yeah.
to somebody on a level of intellectuality. I'll talk about my kids, right?
Mhm.
Like literally, one of my opening lines is, I have kids. My kids are the reason I do not wish to have any more kids. Right there, I'm telling you, hey, I'm like you, I've got kids, or I'm like somebody who's older than me. They remember having their kids, somebody younger who just had a kid, and we're sharing an experience. To me, that's comedy. Comedy
Yeah.
is not just, hey man, I did it. Comedy is, hey, you know what? I can relate to your mom having purple hair because I used to talk to my mom about her wig. I can relate to you, what I mean, wearing glasses because guess what? I wear glasses, you know what I mean? But it's the relation that you start with somebody that you don't know,
Mhm.
in sometimes a very awkward way, and then sometimes a very beautiful way. To me,
Yeah.
comedy is an expression of oneself, and comedy is
Right.
also to tell people, hey, guess what? Yes, I'm a Black man who grew up in Montreal, but I have had the same experiences that you have had growing up in Taiwan, Timbuktu, wherever.
Mhm.
And I've literally had people come up to me and say to me, you know what, about the kids? Don't tell my wife, but I feel the same way. I want them to move out. You know what I mean? It's just that moment of release where you're able to just tell the truth in a very comical way, and everybody's good with it.
Yes.
Yes.
Who are some of your comedic, let's say, heroes that
Oh
you
my
know
God.
that growing up that inspired you?
Okay, here goes. Richard Pryor,
Oh,
Yeah.
number one, definitely.
Rip Torn.
Oh yeah. Rip Torn.
Yeah.
You're gonna laugh, but you wouldn't believe it, but Rhett Butler.
Really?
Because there are excerpts. I'm a geek. I used to sit and read all the excerpts of any character or any actor or actress that I liked, and they would always go to the comedy, like what they would say, like okay, Bing Cosby, or Bill Cosby and Bing Crosby. These guys made me laugh when I was a kid. I was growing up watching
Oh
their
yeah.
movies.
Oh yeah.
I
Abbott
watched.
and Costello, Laurel and
Oh my
Hardy.
God, Dean Martin and the Rat Pack. Come on, Jerry
Oh
Lewis.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
When you are a 6-year-old kid, that is gold. That is
Mhm.
gold. And Sammy Davis Jr. and oh my gosh, Lucille Ball.
Oh
Like there's
yeah.
so
Oh,
many
she
I
was
could choose
fabulous.
from, right?
I
And you know what
I
this taught me? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I remember the first time I saw Steve Martin on what was it, Laugh-In? He did Happy Feet. I fell off the couch, almost pissed myself, laughing. I couldn't stop laughing. I thought it was the most hysterical.
Steve Martin was really good.
I thought it was the most hysterical
Yeah.
thing I ever saw in my life, you know? I mean, it was just a stupid thing of him doing this dance and calling it Happy Feet. It was like really dumb, but it was so funny, you know? And those comedians really like from a long time ago, they really had a specific way of reacting and just dragging you into their comedy in the most simplistic way.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you got
Yeah.
guys like George Carlin, who was
Yes.
a master wordsmith, and he would say a lot by saying a little. He was very strategic with his words,
Yeah.
but his thought process,
Was
was
always
Was
just
there.
amazing.
just brilliant, just
Amazing.
absolutely brilliant.
Bob
So
Newhart.
Richard Pryor, absolutely.
Oh, he's
So
just
Bob Newhart got me. Bob Newhart.
Yeah.
oh Bob. He was
He
like
was
so like deadpan face, like that you just had to laugh at him, you know, just because of the way he looked, you know.
yeah.
And
Oh my
he
God.
came out with these one-liners.
Yeah. Oh, and Red Fox.
Oh
I
my
remember watching
Oh
God.
Sanford and
my
Son when I was a
God.
kid.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm coming in. I'm coming, and he's looking at you. To me, that's funny. That's the funniest thing. Like I said, I'm a kid that grew up in the 70s. I was born in 68. I grew up in the 70s as a little kid watching these TV shows.
Right.
But seeing these comedians. And then I got to see Red Fox when he wasn't on the show. I got to see a TV
Right.
special of his that was filmed back in the early 70s. And he wasn't Red Fox. He was Red Fox. Okay.
Mhm.
He came
Oh
out.
yeah.
The whole time I'm sitting there going, this is not like Sanford and Son, but this is good. It to
He was
me,
He was fabulous. I saw him, and this is many, many years ago. I think Eddie was only 2 years old, and we had a trip to Vegas. It was through the Elks. So my husband wanted to go. So okay. So you fly and you see all the billboards and stuff, and Elvis was there. I saw Elvis, but
Wow.
where we were staying at the Hilton, the lounge show was Red Fox, and he said, this guy's supposed to be really funny. I said, okay, let's go see him. I laughed so hard, and I had the greatest time that I said to him, "Can we come back tomorrow night?" And we did. We did. We went back to the show the next night because I was hysterical. The man was just unfriggin' believable.
He's just a natural.
Oh,
character,
really,
you know?
really, really.
And I'm your age. We grew up, in the same era, and we watched a lot of the same stuff. And that show was a big part of my childhood.
Yeah, yeah.
People don't realize how important that was back then, and you don't see a lot of those shows anymore.
Well, you can go
what?
you can go on YouTube or different comedy
YouTube.
things, and you can watch it on cable and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
like
but
they don't really create.
no, they don't. They don't. I mean, there's some good comedy shows on now, but
Yeah.
not like.
But they're good, but I find that a lot of the comedians I learn from, especially there are two guys I learn from a lot. Okay, Dean Martini, and Flip Wilson. I used to watch the Flip Wilson show all the time.
Yes.
To me, these guys were they were well-rounded actors, comedians, funny men, writers, producers. They said, okay, I'm going to be the complete package. Nowadays, you have a production house that has all these little departments that take care of all that for you. All you do is put on makeup and line. I'm going to tell you something funny. You're going to laugh. You know what I mean? That's great. But when it comes to creating something, if it's not coming from within, I find a lot of times people, it's either hit and miss. So when I was growing up, man, come on. Flip Wilson playing Geraldine coming out.
Oh, yeah, Geraldine.
Right? And Mayor of Chicago, and just some of the best comedy, and it was clean. Some of the best comedy I'd ever seen. Then I'm watching Dean Martin. Everybody loves somebody sometime. Little kid was my Popeye cigarettes.
Too, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was amazing. That was amazing. So I feel that those are a lot of the artists that really helped me hone my craft and work on what I can do. Right. Yeah, I just those days are, I don't say that they're gone. I just say that they're amazing days that I think a lot of artists should look back to. They really want to get themselves developed.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I used to love Billy Crystal doing Sammy Davis.
Yeah.
Cat, and I need that cat.
Come on, baby. Come on. Hey, man. Sammy Davis Jr. Hang on, let me open my other eye. Sammy. Or when he'd imitate Muhammad Ali. Oh man, I'm so fast. I turned off the lights and got in the bed over the light cut out my room. I hit Joe Frazier so hard. He sat in the front row, came back in and said, why'd you hit me so hard? So I hit him again. Come on. That's so much. Oh no. The thing I love doing is when one time somebody said, I said, yeah, anybody, just give me impersonations. It was a night I had no idea what I was going to do on stage. So I just went up there. I'm drinking my water and I put it down and said, okay, give me impersonation. Somebody says, do Sean Connery. So it's like, really? The guy goes, yeah, I bet you can't do it. And I said, right, all I have to do is say Felix Schleiter and say, listen, don't want to be a comedian? Don't want to beat Capone? Don't do it, this guy shit in the front row. Don't test me, Sean. And the rest of that I did Sean Connery. Or,
God.
I'll get
That's
people saying,
funny. I guess, when you're on stage, you have to be ready for anything they throw at you.
But that's the fun. That's the fun about being a comedian.
Yes.
People, it's okay. It's like being a boxer. And going back to Billy Crystal, Billy Crystal said this. He said, it's like being a boxer. Every night, every crowd's a different opponent. You got to figure that opponent out. You got to cut and move, and you got to throw your jabs when you can. Meaning, I've got to figure out the audience. And I've got to say, okay, how do I relate to them and have them relate to me? Then I'm going to throw in a whole bunch of, right? No, like I was just saying, one guy asked me, he said, do a Scottish accent. And he said, hey, there, man. We from Scotland. We're straight from you want you want donkey. Okay, no problem there. You want to donkey. The whole matter is that, right? Or no,
That's
one,
funny.
I had a whole bunch of Italian guys one night. This is the best. I went to Montreal and did a show for a friend of mine, Tony Riccio. And Tony said, this is the funny guy. He's originally from Montreal. Da, da, da. So here's the fun part. French to my left, English right in front of me, Italians to my right. So I get up on stage, I'm doing my stuff, and then one person said in French, I don't understand. So I said, I told the English crowd, I said, hang on a second, I got to tell some French jokes. So I started telling jokes in French. So the Italian guy goes, hey, bro, we don't understand. I said, and in French, I said, je m'excuse de mon juste français, je veux parler avec mes amis italiens. Just give me a second to speak with my Italian friends. And I go back to the English guys and go, hang on, guys. I just told the French guys I'm going to be speaking to the Italian guys. Hang on a second. Hey, buonasera, bambino. Che cosa? Cosa tu vuoi? They all looked at me and said, oh, what? I said, what's wrong? Hey, Claudia, what's wrong? The chives in your soup is not really chives? Huh? No, you're not hot. All right. The bro's really speaking Italian too. So I did a show, English, French, and Italian. I just kept going back and forth.
Oh
and
That's awesome.
to me, no, but to me, that's the challenge of being a good comedian. And you
Yes.
have to, and Russell Peters said this, and it's so true. And I take this to heart. Thank you, Russell, for this. If you have a bad night as a comedian, it's not the audience's fault. It's your fault.
Yes.
You should know what crowd you're dealing with, how to relate to them, and how to make them have a good time. Because as a comedian, that's what you're really there for.
Mhm.
That's what you get the big bucks for. That's what people call you back for, to make them have a good time.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm there
So
for.
do you do comedy clubs when you book things? Are you doing comedy clubs or what is your venue? What is your favorite venue?
My venue is anything, anywhere. If it's a a picnic garden to a corporate room to a comedy club, for me, anything that allows me to be me. Because honestly,
Okay.
for me, this is the thing. My brother Nicky said this before he passed on. Love him. He said, Tommy, just remember, life is a party if you make it a party. It's not about getting angry. It's not about losing your temper. It's not about having a bad, it's a party. And I said to him, I said, what do you mean? He goes, because your life has to be rememberable. You have to be remembered by the people who love you. So make your life a party. So anywhere I go, any venue I do, whether it be corporate, like I said, picnic, or even like I'll go and I'll do I've done like a lot of bars where they needed a comedian for the night. For me, it's just to have people relate to me and have a good time.
That's
Right?
great.
It's a good.
That's
It
great
gives me
that
a good
you know
feeling inside.
you don't hold yourself to a certain standard. I mean, like you do, but you don't. Like you're gonna do you no matter where it is. And I think that's important, because a lot of people wouldn't do that. They'll say, "Oh, I'm not going to go to that bar and only make X amount of dollars. I'm worth more than that, so I'm only going to do the big stuff." Where you love your comedy, you love what you do, and you love
Yeah.
making people laugh. And I think
Well,
that's great.
it's like this. Okay, let me throw another impersonation at you. It's like being Mike Tyson, because sometimes I get mistaken for Mike because I'm a little bit built like Mike. And sometimes they say, Mike, what would you do? I say, first of all, I would put my hand. I'm just joking. No, for me, it's just really relating to people. And you know
Yeah.
what? And the saying is so true. This might sound so cliche, but it's so true. If you love what you do, you're gonna get paid. I had somebody come up to me after a show and go, okay, I don't know if you'll do this. I have a gig, it's a corporate gig. And I'm not gonna mention the amount of money he gave me. It was a nice amount of money, but he said, I'm gonna give you this amount. Literally on a handkerchief, like on a napkin, he goes, I'll give you this amount. And it's like, yes, I do. I'm Thomas Patrice. I can be your comedian.
Let's black that date out.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And
Let me check
yeah.
my schedule. Okay, I'm open.
So for any viewers, yes, I'm very available. I have my passport and I'm legal.
Hey, I did a music corporate gig. I was in a tribute to Queen, the band Queen.
Nice.
Did a full 2-hour show, did the whole look. I did Brian May. So I wore a wig, so identify with your mom. And we got hired by a company in Florida to play. They paid us about $10,000 for 15 minutes of our time to do two songs. And what we
Yeah.
did was we did "We Will Rock You," but we changed the lyrics and we put in their company talking points and selling points in the lyrics.
Nice.
And you know, you just sit there and laugh. And, I can't believe they're paying me to do this. This is amazing.
You know, I'm going out to Delhi. I'm going out to Delhi, Ontario. Okay, first of all, I'm a guy from Montreal, and I'm still discovering. I've lived in Ontario for almost like 25 years. I'm still discovering Ontario. I didn't know there was a place called Delhi. Okay, I had Indian people going, no, seriously, there's a place called Delhi, not Delhi, Delhi. Okay, go, you go. And, yeah, I asked everybody. Yeah, it's a great little town. I went out there, and what they're giving me for me to make people laugh, I'm loving. When I just recently performed in Buffalo, I was amazed. The guy said, "Hey, here you go," and I was like, "Excuse me." Yeah, this is mine. There's nobody named Rollo going to get me at the door. I'm good. Thank you. But you know what I mean? If, like I said, okay, you love making music. You love Queen. By the way, I've got a funny Queen story for you. I'm going to do that in a second. And I'm glad you can identify with my mom and bring out your inner Black woman with the wig. Anyways, so basically, I'm going out there and I'm doing my thing and I'm having fun. And this is when I was driving up to Delhi, and Queen came on. And it was, oh my gosh, what is that song?
Do you want Rhapsody?
No, Bohemian. Oh no, I've got a better song. Okay, no. Let me tell you this story. Me and my friend Barry Carter, we're driving his dad's car. This is a Pontiac, okay, a Cutlass Calais or whatever. It's back in the day when I had hair. Yes, audience, I used to have hair. I used to have hair. I'm not ashamed to say it. So we're in our Jerry curl days, right? Because we had to look good, we had to look fly, as they said back then. So we're going out and we're gonna go pick up our girlfriends at the time. So Bohemian Rhapsody comes on. Two brothers doing this.
Oh yeah.
Jerry curl juice going everywhere. This cop car pulls up beside us and we're at a stoplight. Yeah, and we look over it. Yeah. And the cop he goes,
yeah, right.
This is the same thing. So we're driving, doing this, right? And the cops beside us. I'm serious. If people saw this, they'd be like, he's not arresting them, but he seems to be in coordination with them. Let's get a closer look. No, it's yeah. Oh, and going out to Delhi, it was the song called Princes of the Universe from the movie Highlander. Love that movie, love that song. God, I'm ripping down the highway. Yeah, yeah, here we are. This truck passes me, slows down, look at me. I'm sure they thought I was having like an epileptic fit because I'm the guy looks at me and does this and goes, "Okay, just drive on, But yeah, no. So
I do the same thing. I can't help it.
Well, Thomas, where can our audience find you?
You can find me at nothingbutLaughter.com. It's a little thing I'm putting together with a man named Smiling Steve Burke, and we'll be doing a lot of work in Prince Edward County up here in Canada. It's a little comedy festival. You can also find me on Tommy's Toys and Trinkets, which will be coming out next week. I have all my, you can see my collection of Batman stuff.
Do.
Yes.
Yes, me too.
And I'll be talking about all the stuff I've accumulated over the years, my wife puts it. And you can also see me on YouTube. I have a guy named, his name is Nigel Stockwell. He tells you things like, "Hello, I'm Nigel Stockwell, and you're not. I'm rich, if you work for me."
I like that.
Yes. Right? Or, I'm sorry, one more. My favorite Nigel Stockwell is, "Today I bought a Bugatti, then remembered I don't like Bugatti, so I got a Ferrari." Just so you can find me there on YouTube. Also, I'll be coming up with a couple of other videos pretty soon. I'll be putting up this show in Delhi, and like I said, always look for me on nothingbutLaughter.com.
NothingbutLaughter.com.
Okay, because our time is up now, so I want everybody to be able to look for you because you're hysterical, and I'm gonna look at some of that stuff too.
Oh, one more thing.
Okay.
If you want to book me, just go to comicthomas@gmail.com. I'm very available.
ComicThomas@gmail.com.
And he's available, everybody. He's available. Hear that? Yeah.
I asked you times you stay.
Hey, yo.
Let me tell you something, bro.
We don't kill, we whack.
No, I'm not gonna whack. I'm not gonna get whacked. I gotta pay the boss. You know what I'm saying? All right. Things happen.
So we are funnyminds.com, and you can go on our website. On the website, we have a store, so you can buy some comedy stuff. I do have my Funny Minds shirt on today. And we also have two organizations that we're very involved in, and that is Women's Breast Cancer and St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So when you go on, you'll see a big purple little bow there, and you can hit on that and make a donation, and that makes a difference. And our emails are on there. If you have anything you would like to say, what you like, what you don't like, if there's somebody you'd like to see on the show, we can get them. Or if you have somebody that you think would be a good fit for our show, let us know and we'll contact them and we'll see what we can do. But to all of my audience and to my guest, I tell everybody, be happy, be safe, be careful, but most of all, laugh, because laughter is the best medicine. And I say goodbye to you, Thomas, and I thank you very much. You were great, and I'm going to keep watching and see what you do.
Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. Bye.